What's up everyone on the internet? Thank you for making this video party. I am so excited about this one for you guys because this video we're going to be taking a look at one of Kurosawa's more mythical samurai movies, Throne of Blood. So while I was looking for my next Kurosawa movie, a lot of people recommended that if you want to see something more Shakespearean style, then you should definitely check out Throne of Blood, which really piqued my interest because I was really looking forward to seeing something more of a dramatic samurai movie. But oh my god, I gotta tell you, I was not expecting to watch a psychological thriller within a samurai movie because from beginning to end, you get to watch someone's downward spiral into madness, and it took me a while to realize that this movie is based off of one of Shakespeare's most famous plays, Macbeth. So this movie takes place in feudal Japan as we follow two generals who have just defended their lord's castle of the Spiderweb Forest, and while they're patrolling the forest, they encounter an evil spirit who is just this scary looking figure, and now that I think about it, she kind of reminds me of one of the demons from Demon Slayer, so I wonder if the creator of Demon Slayer took inspiration from Throne of Blood. But anyway, the spirit informs them that General Washizu will be given the northern garrison, while General Miki will be given the Spiderweb's castle. And this is very important, because not long after they return from their trip, that prediction comes true as they are awarded for their bravery by their lord, and their eyes widen with shock as the first prediction of many comes true. Second prediction the witch made was that eventually General Washizu would become Lord of the Spiderweb's castle before General Miki's son would take over as the castle's new lord, making that the final prediction. And I love how from the beginning we're introduced to these two characters, two samurai who are loyal to their lord, where at first they laugh at these so-called predictions, but when that first one came true, you can feel the paranoia just set in. More specifically, it sets within Washizu, where it was foretold that he would eventually become the next lord of the Spiderweb's castle. But in order to do that, he's got to take out his current lord, then he has to take out his best friend. And to see this man get manipulated by outside mystical forces and sometimes by his own wife, you can feel that his future is pretty much certain. I also love how throughout the movie we watch this man fall apart internally piece by piece as he gains more and more power to where it comes to the point where he's literally gone insane. Which is something I didn't expect from this movie because originally I thought I was going to be seeing a lot of battles and a lot of duels, but instead I got a psychological thriller about how absolute power corrupts absolutely. And I love how Washizu's journey is broken down to three phases, where in Act 1, he's pretty much in disbelief after hearing these witches' predictions and sees them as only coincidence. But once you get into Act 2, he is ridden with guilt after committing some very terrible crimes in order to secure his power. But once you get into Act 3, he is terrified knowing that the witch was right all along and at the end of his journey is quickly approaching. Another thing that I also liked about this movie is that it is not afraid to get mystical when it needs to, because this witch plays a major role in the story in leading Washizu to his fate. Also, some of the effects they use for the witch are pretty good. Granted, today's visual effects would blow it out of the water, but I love how Kurosawa portrays this witch as a storyteller who is explaining the end of a story to its main character, which brings us to the end of the movie, and wow, what a crazy sequence to end off at. Without giving away any spoilers, even though this movie is 67 years old, I am amazed at how they pulled off Washizu's final nail in the coffin, which involves an onslaught of arrows. When you look at how the movie ends, it feels very poetic and mystic at the same time, as you feel like you're watching the end of a stage play. So overall, I had a great time with this movie, but I will say that it is a bit of a slow burn, but that's mostly because it tends to focus more on psychological and mystical elements rather than on traditional things you expect from a samurai movie. I'm also very amazed at how Kurosawa was able to take Shakespeare's Macbeth and then blend it with a samurai story, because after looking at the overall basis of Macbeth, the movie follows similar beats to the original play. So if you're looking for a samurai movie that is a psychological thriller but is also a poetic tragedy at the same time, I highly recommend you watch this movie. Well, that's going to do it for this video, guys. That was my overall review for Throne of Blood. If you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button to see all these updates from this channel. I'll see you next time with a brand new video. Bye-bye.